Oh, hello. What? You're already expecting me to upload another video? I mean, okay. But what should I cover? Well, I guess it technically is still Scooby Doo's 50th anniversary this year. But what should I talk about? Huh. Scooby Doo and the Haunted Doghouse? Wait a minute. I don't know about this. What the heck? So here we have two versions of Scooby Doo and the Haunted Doghouse. But while one appears to be a longer children's form book, the other one appears to be a much shorter, like little kids book, but it's also accompanied by a record that reads the book to you. Now we could read the book, or we could just listen to the record. Let's do that!
Hey gang, what seems to have gotten into Scooby? I don't want to do this. I'm sorry, Scoob.
Yeah, no. Let's just read the book.
We begin with the gang deciding that they want to build Scooby his own doghouse. We even have such engaging dialogue, such as Velma and Daphne arguing about what color to paint it. Look, they decided to make it half blue and half red. How hideous. Scooby spends his first couple nights there just fine, until one night Scooby runs into Shaggy's room scared out of his mind. Okay, two things. We see Shaggy reading a book of ghost stories, scaring himself to sleep. Are we talking about the same scaredy cat Shaggy character here? Also, okay, so he runs into Shaggy's room, and apparently the rest of the gang also live in the supposed house we don't see. So the gang lives together? In a house? Was it ever confirmed where the mystery gang lived? I just assumed that they lived out of the mystery machine. Do they go around renting hotel rooms? How can they afford that? Or, if they are in a house, how could they afford that? Anyway, Shaggy asks Scooby if he saw a ghost, to which Scooby is too scared to even reply. So Shaggy decides to... Okay, wait a minute. Now Shaggy has decided to grab a flashlight and go out and investigate the situation? By himself? Alone? When did Shaggy grow such balls? This truly must be only 1% of Shaggy's true power. So Shaggy walks towards the doghouse with the flashlight and sees a pair of eyes glowing back at him from the doghouse. Given that this book takes place before Shaggy attained Ultra Instinct, he shrieks in terror and begins to make a run for it after he drops his flash. Who says that? Yeah, I'd love to go camping. Let me just make sure I bring my flash. The next morning, he tells the rest of the gang about what happened, and they all decide to go investigate. They sneak up to the doghouse later that night, and they heard a small purring sound. Fred shines his flashlight inside to reveal a cat who just had 3 kittens. The book ends with the gang taking care of the cats until they're able to find a new home. I love how this book just ends with Scooby going back to live in his doghouse, yet we never see this doghouse ever again in the show. Up next, we have the next book with the exact same name, Scooby Doo and the Haunted Doghouse. Despite having the same name, this one appears to be much different. It starts with Daphne's father telling her he has a mystery for her and her friends, so she calls them over so he can tell them about it. Apparently, one of his old friends lives in a now haunted mansion. The gang agreed to take the challenge and began their travel. I love how much detail they give in their preparation. It took them 2 days to get the Mystery Machine ready for that long trip, and they left 1 day after that, and it took them 5 days to drive to California. They arrive at the mansion, but are told to leave at once by the home's butler. Fred tries to explain, but the butler's not having it. Daphne steps in like an alpha and asks his name and demands that he let the owner know that Daphne Blake and her friends are here. The gang goes in and meets the owner in his room with big shelves, paintings, and a small black poodle named Fifi. The owner actually clarifies to the gang that it isn't his house that's haunted, but in fact his dog Fifi's house that is. And apparently, the doghouse is only slightly smaller than the mansion that they're already in. Geez, that's a big doghouse. They begin to see the haunting happen as Scooby and Fifi freak out, hearing a sound that only they can hear. The gang looks out the window to see a ghostly dog with green eyes, howling and growling. It goes away, and the gang decides to get a night's sleep before investigating any further. The gang wakes up the next morning and searches the doghouse. Scooby tips it over and finds a ton of diamonds buried underneath. There were stories of robbers stealing diamonds and burying them somewhere, so the gang decided to wait until the next haunting to see if anyone came to get the diamonds. They find 4 robbers at the scene of the crime and call the police. But apparently the ghost dog was derived from a woman also in the dog show competition trying to sabotage Fifi, so the owner called, threatening to tell everyone her scheme, so she did not enter her dog in the dog show. The gang received a $10,000 check for their work, but Daphne says that they don't take money for their work and decides to give it to charity. So there goes all those theories saying that the gang gets paid for their work.
And that was the story of 2 completely different Scooby Doo books that have the exact same name. Now I know what you're wondering. Why is this video not 10 minutes? And I'm sure you're also probably wondering, how am I going to figure it out to get to that point? Well, I haven't quite figured that out yet. Maybe I'll think of something. But what about... No. But maybe... No. I'll figure it out. Hey, what's going on, y'all? I really wanted to thank you guys so much again for checking out now my second video on the channel. It was a lot of fun to do. This was kind of out of nowhere. I didn't really know what kind of video to do next to follow that one. And then I found the set of books online. At first I found the first one that I showed in the video, the more kids-friendly one. And then I ended up stumbling upon that other one, and I thought that other one was just an adaptation of the first one until I actually got my hands on it and I actually read it. And it was a completely different story. So it was weird that it even had the same name. But anyways, I really wanted to thank you guys so much for watching this, because like I said, I'm starting a brand new channel. I really could use y'all's support, and I really appreciate everything that y'all have done so far. Sharing the video out, texting it to your friends, sharing it on Facebook and Twitter. I really appreciate it. Like, it's really done so much for the channel so far already. My first video is already at almost, like, I think at the time of me recording this is at 600 views right now, which for a brand new channel is pretty good. We're already at almost 150 subs. So we're doing great on that end, and I really just wanted to tell everybody thank you so much. And if you want to do the same for this video, that would be great. Share it out with your friends, text your friends, text all your fellow Scooby-Doo fans or whatever. This was a lot of fun to make, and I hope you guys enjoyed the funny skits and things I did in the video. I'm really trying to get, kind of
in my groove. So I think this one was a bit more smoother. I think this one was a bit easier. It wasn't as planned. It wasn't as planned as the first one, so I think that's why it went a bit smoother. But anyways, guys, I really appreciate it. So I'll see you guys next month with the December Christmas episode. See you guys later.